Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Play XCOM Apocalypse. Or should I say, a sort of babble play, because I like to babble a lot. But not just with playing. I like to babble all the time. So, oh well. It's probably why I do this. Anyway, we've just very successfully attacked a UFO, one of the assault ships. And we got more stuff from it, so let's see if there's anything special. I don't think there's anything else. I mean, we've had all this stuff before. The anthropods and such, blah blah blah, the alien life cycle, brain sucker pods, we've got the toxigons making here. And of course we have the devastator cannons being researched, which are going to be quite handy because they're extraordinarily powerful. We also have all these UFO types. We have to research the light disruptor beam to get, I believe, to go to the medium disruptor beam. So we'll have to do that at some point. Because we do have Tarangator now, which can actually fit a light and medium disruptor beam. Well, either or. You cannot have both, obviously. But you can definitely fit this one into the main weapons pod. Which is pretty nice. Alright. So... none of the aliens, or none of the UFOs have really offloaded anything, so we're going to speed things up a little bit to get to the brainsucker pods. The pod has a hard and extremely tough skin. This peels back in the presence of human beings. A creature popularly referred to as a brainsucker then emerges fully formed and active. Our conclusion is that these pods are a genetically engineered device designed to attack only human life forms. Very creepy. You know, that's a thing, if you think about it. I often, when I play games... you know what, let's do the skeletoid first. I don't know. At this point, it doesn't really matter because we have the alien life cycle, which will give us toxins type B. And to get toxins type C, we have to research pretty much every live... alien and autopsy in the game, apart from the queen spawn and the, I believe, the mega spawn. So, you know, this is kind of irrelevant right now. I mean, it's very relevant because we have to get through all this, but it's going to give us nothing of use, unfortunately. That's what I kind of like about the new XCOMs. Every one of these autopsies actually gives you something useful instead of just fluff text, which is interesting. I obviously enjoy that quite a lot, but you know, I would have loved some other stuff as well to have some sort of benefits to it. So 5 days for the advanced quantum physics lab. I also forgot exactly what I needed for the large workshop. I think I need one of the UFO types or a few UFO types. I think it's something like that. Anyway, yeah, let's finish off that devastator cannon. And in the meantime, of course, you know what time it is. It is time to go and say hello to Cult of Sirius, because, well, they're our friends. Oh god, that's not good. Okay, at least we're not getting on the bad side of any more of these companies. 38,000. You know, I'm kind of tempted to just pay them to get back to neutral status with a sanctuary clinic. I mean, it is extraordinarily expensive, but if we just keep hitting Cult of Sirius, we can just make that money up. Make up for that money. What's going on here? Oh yeah, because I have the sanctuary clinic selected. They actually have quite a lot of stuff. Look, there's a hospital. These are, I think, offices. No, it's a procreation park, of course. It's where it's sexy time. And here we have the apartments and more luxury apartments. These guys own quite a lot, which is very weird. But then again, I suppose if it's modeled after the American healthcare system, it's not weird at all because they'll be loaded with money. All right, let's go. Because obviously it's more important to make money off people than actually make sure that everyone gets healthcare. Oh no, what am I doing? I'm opening another can of worms. I never want to be political in my videos, and then I usually just sort of drift towards it because some stuff really rubs me the wrong way. But oh well. Anyway, forget about that. We have more Cult of Sirius to take care of, which is always fun. These raids are always eventful. Alright, 3 teams. 3 full teams, no less. Unfortunately, we don't see them just yet, which is very rare with Cult of Sirius. I think it does happen on very, very few occasions. In fact, seeing enemies on the very first turn, it doesn't matter if it's a raid or if it's an alien investigation, it happens extremely rarely as is. But I think it happens even less with Cult of Sirius. It is pretty fun when it does happen, though, because that means that as you always go first, of course, you get dibs on shooting the enemies with full time units. Pretty much. And you know exactly where they are. Your team knows where they are. I mean, your team is ready. I could go that way. I think I probably will. Because there's more doors over here. And they could be over in this area. Of course, my guys will be wasting a lot of time units running around each other. But that's to be expected. And then I have another team here. There's no doors on this side, so we're just going to move them here. There. Off you go! Now, as per usual, we could try to make a hole through the walls. And that will become an actual tactic once we get Devastator Cannons. Because Devastator Cannons are so incredibly powerful, have so much destructive power, you can actually destroy these walls in 1 or 2 shots. They are very, very powerful. Also, it's kind of funny, I was reading the comments and some people enjoyed my babbling of ye olde times. And Dr. Loco mentioned that I mentioned broadband. I don't know, I would have to watch the videos back, but if I said broadband, I apologize, that's obviously not the case. Because broadband back then wasn't a thing. At least when I was young, of course. It was all dial-up, and of course... wait a second. These guys are all already out of stamina. It's not very good. No, wait a second. Okay. There. It's not the best, because... you probably won't be able to shoot him from here. Fubar. Let's see. You will, but of course hitting stuff will be more difficult. Now the nice thing about these explosive rounds is that they also uncover a lot of stuff. That looks like a rocket launcher. I don't like that. One more. And then go back into cover. Yeah, anyway. You got a disruptor gun. See, I like the disruptors, but they're not very useful at long ranges. And these guys will probably react. They most likely have time units, yeah. That does look like a rocket launcher. I don't like that one bit. Ah, no, why are you running away? Come on. I wanted to give you a nice little present, but never mind now. Anyway, like I was saying, back in ye olde days, when I was a kid, there was no such thing as broadband. So, there was no such thing as browsing the internet for fun, in a way. And watching videos. Watching videos. That was a pipe dream back then. Because, believe it or not, I know I'm gonna sound like an old fart now. And I do realize that, you know, the longer I live, the more I realize that I sound exactly like the person we made fun of as kids, because, oh, those, you know, those old people, they always say, oh, in my old days, it was better, blah, blah, blah. I'm not necessarily saying it was better. I mean, computer gaming definitely was the dark ages when I was young. But, when I was younger, when the internet was first a thing, and I'm not saying when the internet was invented first, because, you know, that was even longer ago, and it wasn't really a useful thing back then. It was more of an experiment. But nothing else I can do here. Ugh, these guys have disruptors. See, that's why autocannons are so useful still. But oh, there's a cyclone. I don't want to destroy that, but I'm gonna shoot past it anyway. You're not gonna hit anything from there, are you? See, I don't want these guys to be doing anything because they seem to have... Come on. Oh, come on. Ah, darn it. A rocket launcher. Yeah, but when I was younger, going onto the internet, it was already, you know, a fair few years old by then. I mean, almost a couple decades. What to do with you? It was a case of going onto the internet for very specific things. You didn't go to the internet because, well, it was there and you could go there at will. This is turning out to be pretty bad. You went there to, for example, search for, I don't know, some information. Like, you've got a machine gun. That's funny. No, stop. I don't think you can really hit anything, even though the accuracy is pretty good. Yeah, this is pretty bad. They'll have free reign over us here. And if it means rocket launchers, that's gonna be pretty darn bad. You cannot really get there in time, can you? Ooh, that sucks. This is gonna suck big time. Anyway, I know I keep going all over the place with what I'm trying to say, but yeah, you know, loading things on the internet was a process. Unlike today when you just go onto a page, I should really be shooting that guy. When you go to a page like YouTube and you just let it load and it's la la la, everything is good and nice and peachy. It wasn't like that before. Before, you went on pages that barely had any images at all, because images, of course, meant long load times, because each little tiny image took a long time to load. Oh, there's stuff here as well. I'm just being completely, I mean, throwing caution to the wind, aren't I? Don't even know where these guys are, so this is gonna be mighty interesting. But we do have smoke grenades, so we're gonna be using those. I think there's some people flying here as well. Anyway, yeah. If you were to, for example, back then, when it was mostly modems, I mean, it's, you know, it's still modems now, but much faster modems. I mean, it's not dial-up modems anymore. Before, you had to actually call. Your modem did the call to your line, and it used your telephone line to do so. So, for example, if you only had one telephone line at home, you couldn't really talk to anyone while you were on the internet, and nobody could call you. Let's see if we can actually. Oh yeah, you don't see anyone. Can you see anyone now? Can you see anyone now? Seriously? What the heck's going on? Okay, never mind. You got a lot of power already, though. Alright, it's time for some smoke grenades, because this is far too dangerous. I've been babbling back and forth, not really saying much. I'm gonna keep those guys where they are, I think. And these guys need to hide as well, because I have a bad feeling about that guy in particular. It might be just a cannon, an autocannon, but could be something worse. So yeah, you had to actually have your modem call on the line. It took a little bit to actually establish the connection, and only then could you browse the internet. And it was, you know, it was a long time. And of course, Google was in its infancy. We also used what was it? Hasta la Vista? Was it Hasta la Vista or was it Hasta Vista? I cannot quite remember. And Yahoo and stuff like that. You know, it was much more difficult in a way to actually find things on the internet back then. Let's see the massacre. Oh yeah, I do want you to move. I do hate how it actually selects this stuff. I don't think you can really hit anything from here. It would be fun if you could, but you're just gonna hit my guys. Yeah, exactly. Just never mind that. So yeah, if you wanted to load, I don't know, let's say a normal page like BBC, which doesn't really have so many videos. It just has many images and such. But if you wanted to load this thing like BBC or CNN.com, well, on an old... Ooh, we're actually throwing grenades. On an old modem, on a fast one, for example, back then, which would be about 56 kilobits per second, well, that would take a long time. If you were to load a modern page, it would take a very long time. In fact, I would say minutes. And yes, I mean minutes, not seconds. Oh, that sucks. See, that's what I hate. Sometimes, he's critically wounded. Sometimes this happens. Ah, darn it. Let's use that sword for once, even though it does use Illyrium. So I think actually we're gonna use this. There we go. Lovely. But yeah, you know, we are quite spoiled these days. Actually, I might just run over there and drop this. It's gonna be cheaper. Unless you, of course, run all the way around. Good job. We are quite spoiled. I don't think I could ever go back to those times. Because having constant internet, because of course back then you didn't have constant internet. Oh, great. You had to actually, like I said, dial and go online. And of course, being online on the internet used impulses, telephone impulses, because it was like you were talking. What? Is there someone there? Why can't I go there? There is! How did you not see me? That's quite funny. Nice. Okay, hello. But yeah, the speed is really... Wow, very nicely shot, Exo. The speed is really what sets everything apart. I mean, today, you just load everything so fast. It's so nice. You can watch videos on YouTube by just clicking on them. I mean, back then... Let me tell... Why didn't you jump? Okay. There you go. Oh, I suppose there was something in the way there. There we go. Let's see if we can actually hit... No. No. But someone else will, hopefully. Of course, everyone's out of stamina, so that sucks. But that's the nice thing about autocannons. There we go. Lovely. And we didn't even have to use the medkit there. But yeah, back then, for example, you know, listening to music was a bit of an ordeal. I mean, ordeal, if you wanted to find some music. Today, you just go on YouTube or Google, you type in the name, and off you go. You're already listening to it, most likely on YouTube, right? But back then, that was not really a thing before YouTube. You had to, well, be a little creative. And the one thing I remember were many sort of... I believe there were torrent stuff. Oh, wait a second. Music! There we go. Yeah, like Napster and I think it was like... No, Bonzo Buddy wasn't a... Bonzo Buddy was a stupid little thing. It wasn't an actual torrent thing. But yeah, no, Donkey Torrent, I believe it was, and Napster, and stuff like that. Anyway, as a kid, I mostly used that for downloading music, because I didn't really know any other ways of doing so. Let's see how much we got from that raid. I'm just gonna get rid of this. I think there was a heavy launcher then there. I don't know. So, to give you a perspective... When I started going onto the internet, thankfully, my dad worked in telecommunications, and he had a company and everything. So we were very early adopters of. Oh yeah, we didn't get that. We were very early adopters of ADSL. Sorry, not ADSL. That's later. It's later. We were very early adopters of ISDN, which was basically a better, you know, a better type of, well, both telephony, because we were one of the... I haven't known anyone back then that could actually know who was calling them, because back then, knowing the number that was calling you, that was also a, you know, a very weird thing. But with ISDN, you actually it actually showed you the number that was calling you. So you picked up and said, "Oh, hi, Joe." And they were like, "What? How did you know it was me calling you?" So it was pretty funny. Wait a second, where's all these cyclones? Oh, there. What? But I've clearly seen a Oh, we must have destroyed it, and there was only one. Wow, so we only made about 4,000. That was not very good. Disappointing. Yeah, but ISDN meant that it was a little bit faster than modem. Quite a bit faster, actually. And, oh, excuse me. What was better was that my dad actually got 3 lines. He got 2 ISDN lines, and we kept the normal analog line. I believe the ISDN lines were digital. No, it's been too long. Anyway, doesn't matter. What was the cool thing was that the ISDN lines allowed you to connect to the internet as well, like normal, but they were a lot faster. I think they were around 16 kilobytes per second each. And yes, kilobytes. That was the speed of the actual download. And the cool thing was, you could actually open 2 lines at the same time and connect with both to the same place, which meant instead of downloading with 16 kilobytes per second, you could download with 32 kilobytes per second. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Anyway, with 2 lines open, it took me quite a few minutes to download 1 song in MP3 form, which was about, let's say, 2 to 3 megabytes large. If it was a longer song, a much longer song, or a much more high quality one, and it was like 10 megabytes, that was huge. That would take me, well, half an hour to download. So that's to give you a perspective. Downloading movies? Forget about it. It would take a week. There was one game that I downloaded as a kid via torrent. Sorry. It was Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast, I believe it was called. A wonderful, wonderful, awesome game that I had many hours of fun with. And that was 1 CD large, which was about 550 megabytes, thereabouts. And on the ISDN lines, it took me, I think, about a week, or a little bit more than a week to download. Yes, it was that bad. There we go, this is what we're talking about. It is clear that the alien life cycle is an extremely rapid sequence of changes. The eggs always develop into multiworms, which then give birth to hyperworms, which form a chrysalis. At this stage, the genetic variation produces a variety of alien types which develop inside the chrysalis. The whole process from the egg hatching to emergence from the chrysalis only seems to take about 10 days, provided that there is an adequate supply of food. Fortunately, these life forms do not survive very well in our world, and it is unclear how an invasion could be successful. Yeah, that's pretty cool, though. Alright, so unfortunately, we don't really... unfortunately, this is what we've been working on. Toxin Type B. A toxin needs to be developed to combat the higher alien life forms. This is a very powerful toxin, and this will be our mainstay of our troops for a fair while. So we've already made quite a few toxiguns, but we're gonna keep going. Ooh, rated by government. Okay, still nothing here. We'll probably be getting some stuff soon. We're gonna be visiting another cult of Sirius again, just because we're that nice. We don't want to keep them waiting. But yeah, anyway. Long story short, like I always do, and I always babble around and beat around the bush and do other things. But yeah, back then, speed was, well, it was not a thing. Not a thing at all. Everything was very slow. And like I said, the wonderful thing of not knowing something today and just going on Google and just, typing it in and almost immediately getting the answers, it was not a thing back then either. I mean, on many occasions, I've had issues where I needed to know something, mostly about a game, of course, because I was a lazy bum of a kid and I mostly just gamed. But yeah, it was actually quite difficult getting relevant information on the internet. Because like I said, Google wasn't quite a thing. This could be dangerous here. But I think we're gonna go around here. No! Oh, rippin' hell. Okay. I'm gonna send LP573 there with you. He's going to check this area. He's a robot. Well, he's a robot. He's an android. Okay, that's quite dangerous now. But I think they'll probably be here. Nothing yet, but I think they will be there. Okay, that's these guys. And then these guys can also join them. And you guys will ignore this. I'll just make sure that there's no one here. Sometimes, on rare occasions, there's a cyclone. Lovely. They're there, but yeah. No. Oh, flipping hell. Alright, off you go over that way. I want to waste time units and stamina. Now these guys can be in danger now. I think they'll be fine. I will move you back here so you don't have the doors open. We don't want that. And we're ready, I think. I mean, we're not ready. That's bad positioning, but there you go. Good. It seems like we won't see any of them there. So yeah, speed not a thing back then. Everything took a long time, and websites were horrible. If you're interested in that sort of stuff, I suggest you go and, I don't know, Google how old web pages looked. Just Google that, and I'm sure you'll get websites that will show you just how bad the old stuff looked. I mean, any older person, I wanted to say old, I don't want to be old. Any older person will know exactly what I'm talking about if I say GIFs on websites and how horrible they were. Because back then, you know, putting videos on websites to stream would be insanity. Nobody would be able to actually watch videos. So the next best thing were small GIFs. So basically moving images that only had a few frames, and they were usually very corny, very sort of colorful and horrible, and yeah. People will know exactly what I'm talking about. They were bad, but they were a mainstay of most pages. And I'm not just talking about amateur pages. I'm talking about also some professional pages had GIFs like that. A little better, of course, but still. You know, if we are to compare it with an analogy between old web pages and modern web pages, the old web pages were a clown circus, devoid of any people or you know, visitors or players, and modern web pages are these sleek studios, you know, nicely laid out with lots of people in there. Yeah, it was the Dark Ages back then. It was definitely the Dark Ages back then. What happened there? Did you see? Oh, whoa! Hey, yeah, shoot him back. Oh, yes, excellent. That guy could actually have done quite a bit of damage with the machine gun in full auto on point blank. That guy has a plasma gun, so not. Whoa, where did you come from? You must have been down there in the. Get him! Come on, shoot! Get him! There we go. Excellent. Nice. They could have done a bit of damage, actually. Nice. Excellent. I'm surprised the Cult of Sirius is walking around that much near our guys. Of course, the AI isn't too smart. And I've never played with the... Oh, no one got hurt at all. Thanks, armor. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you don't mind my babbling. Some people do enjoy it, but I suppose some people don't, especially if they don't know what I'm talking about of ye old days. Oh, Sonny, it was so good when I was older. It wasn't. It was the Dark Ages of computing. It really was. I'm glad I live in today. Anyway, have a good one, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.